QDTE has been an absolute assassin in my account. And I consider it a ninja assassin because nobody really talks about QDTE anymore and XDTE. And that could be for good reason, honestly. Now, the reason I'm just been absolutely crushing it with QDTE. You can see my first buy there at 327, and then you can see these other allotments here. And I stopped buying it like in May or June-ish as far as big lots go because it was during that corrective measure, and then we started going back up again, and so I just quit buying it. And because I bought when I did, it's just been crushing it. So I want to go over some numbers, compare QDTE, XDTE to my QQQY, and I could see why people don't like it. I would love to know your experiences with these round hill funds. Now, I don't think this is like a core, for me anyway, it's not a core retirement position. It just can't be because there's no growth with it and there's no dividend growth, and we're going to get into that. So you can see here, this is already problematic. Year to date, it's down 9% in share price, okay? And while the Qs have, or NDX, whatever it does calls on, has been absolutely ripping. So with that being said, that's not good. And then if we look at it max hold time, it's even worse, down 21% from a share price perspective. However, because I bought in when I did during that corrective measure in the early part of the year, this really doesn't hold a lot of water for me because it's just not relevant for me personally where I stand. But it's definitely a warning sign when we start correcting. If we look right here, the distribution has just been flat during this whole run-up. They're not growing over time. The share price isn't growing over time. It's just remaining flat. And I guess that's okay, but the problem is you'd like to see your share price, at least I would, like to see the share price and the dividends grow over time. We're just not getting that. So if we look at the Qs here, you can see the Qs from about the time QDTE came out, and they're like polar opposites. Look at this. QDTE versus the Qs. Just really not a good-looking chart at all. Now, I was fortunate and started buying during the corrective measure. I sold the majority of my yield max stuff in 2024, and then I started putting it into stuff like XDTE, QDTE, and SPY-I, and eventually QQQI when we started dropping and then coming back up. So I was buying in here during this drop. And so I got fortunate. My cost basis is roughly just a hair over $34. And you could see it's been above that for quite some time. And I think it's like 20 weeks or something over that it's been above my cost basis. But I'm going to get into that and show you why it's been so effective for me. But right now, let's compare it. QDTE, XDTE, and QQQI. Again, I'd love to hear what your experience has been with it. So the total returns aren't horrible at all. I mean, year to date, it's just trailing my QQQI by 0.50, roughly, just a tad on the total returns. XDTE is trailing a little bit, both Q and QQQI. And if we go all time, I mean, you can still see that 37% total returns is not bad at all. I mean, and according to this chart, you can see how it's ripped up with total returns. But mine are different because I keep all the distributions. I don't reinvest them. If we look here on the dividend growth, see, this is problematic for my QDTE. During a major market rip, we're having negative dividend growth. XDTE has had positive distribution growth, as had QQQI. And if we go max all time, lowering dividend growth is not good. But it is what it is. I got in at the right time. Price change, just got lucky that I bought in when I did. Price change percentage, you can see here, it's negative year to date. It's not growing at all. When you can see there, the QQQI just continues to go up and up with price change. If we go to max all time, it's really even more separated. And you can see here, QDTE has dropped more in price than XDTE. And you know, for me and what I need to be an anchor in my personal retirement portfolio, I got to have these going up with share price. I got to have it following more like the market. Stock price, you can see here how much cheaper QDTE is than the other two. XDTE has kind of held its price a little bit better, but still negative, right? Versus QQQI, which is a positive share price growth. So the reason it's been so good for me, despite those horrible numbers, since I bought it on the way down during that corrective measure, and then started buying it once it bottomed out, and once the market started bottoming out and going back up, I was buying it. And like I said, I quit buying it in like May or June, something like that. And you can see here, guys, it's like 25 weeks or something ridiculous that has been above my cost basis. And so I've been able to keep all the distributions 100%. And for me, that has been absolutely massive. I've been able to buy into other funds. I've been using it to pay expenses, and whatever's left out of my expenses, it goes into SGov here the last number of months to help build up my SGov position. So it's helped me in a variety of ways. I do have a stop loss on it right at 34. And I am so far up in this thing, if you count total returns, because it's been above my cost basis, like for eons, it feels like. So this is a good thing about it for me, is that I bought it, my timing when I bought in, and I haven't been really adding to it since May or June, just letting the fund work and keeping all the distributions. Due to its lack of growth, there was no reason for me to keep adding to it. So I don't know. I mean, my stop loss is at 34. Once I add up all the distributions and find out exactly how much I'm up, I may lower that stop loss. I may leave it here. I don't know. But I do know this. When we go through a big corrective measure, this thing is really going to be hurt after the correction, whenever that occurs, because there's no growth really associated with it. Yes, there's a little dip by, between 34, 32, and 30, but that's it, man. If you were buying anywhere from 46 down to 36, you could be hurting right now. I don't know. It depends. Or you may have sold for a loss or whatever. So this is problematic, I think, for a retirement account, is to see the chart look like this when the underlying has done this, right? I mean, it's just a massive run by the Qs. And when your dividend growth looks like this, that's not good for a long-term hold. But for now, it's just been an amazing silent assassin, and it's been so good, I'm torn as to what to do with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know your experiences with XDTE and QDTE. All right, talk to you later. Bye.